community. You know, this introvert really didn't know that he was good at building community. You see, I'm the guy who likes to spend time with you one-on-one, getting intense, having a fun, powerful, interesting conversation. But it turns out that I've become really good at building community. And I'm in a community of extraordinary people, a community of extraordinary coaches. One of the most common pieces of feedback we get from every single intensive is, wow, the power and the caliber of people in the room blew me away. And I would smile and say, I know, I created them. See, clients are created, and so are the participants at your intensives. So are the people who come to your events, the people in your groups. You create them. And I create a powerful community of extraordinary coaches. I want to tell you about 3 of them right now, just to give you a taster. Terence was my first apprentice. I just did an interview with him about 5 years after I first met him, and I found out some things I didn't realize. In his first year as a coach, he made $12,000. We met that year, began to connect with one another, began to talk. He was fascinated about what I did. At the time, the book wasn't even written. The ideas were in my mind. So I said to him, do you want to get together for a day and I'll teach you everything I know about creating clients? He said, yeah, I would love that. I'm in. I made up a number. I said, it's $1,000. He said, good. Sent me a check. We showed up, spent a day in a hotel. He went away, came back about a week later and said, I've signed a $25,000 client. He's a man who knows how to take an insight and turn it into action. Well, he told me recently when we did an interview that actually that client signed up with him for 2 years. So he calls that a $50,000 client. One conversation. Well, I'm not silly. I said, let's do it again. So he came back a few weeks later rather, and we sat down again. This time I charged him $2,000. I knew it's time to raise my prices. And we spent time together. And he went away, put this stuff into action, became my apprentice, made $300,000 in his second year of coaching and $400,000 in his third year of coaching. And Terence never stopped coming to those intensives. 5 in a row he came to. Let me tell you about Alison. Alison creates the beautiful illustrations that are on the walls for most of our intensives, and then I used to put out as graphics after we've completed. I've talked about Alison before because she shouldn't be my client. You see, Alison, if you look at her website, has fairies and rainbows and unicorns on it, and she paints her face with face paint. She's not my people. Right? That's not who I am. I'm this intense guy who wants this kind of deep, powerful connection. But Alison shows up the way that she shows up. And really, that's what I'm about. You being you, not being me. At this next intensive, I'm bringing along some of the best coaches in our community to showcase them for you. The members of 4PC, as many as possible, we can get in the room to show you there is no one right way of being a coach. Is your way of finding out what the best way for you is. So I've told you about Terence, I've told you about Alison, let me tell you about Mark. Mark came to me because he was wanting to transition into being a coach. Mark has a background in sales, high-end complex technology sales, sales of $1 million items at a time. Those are complex sales. Became a client, then became my apprentice. Has been to almost every intensive we've run, has been in my private groups, has been in my masterclass, and is now a member of 4PC. There's a reason these coaches come back time and time again. And the most common reason I hear is that we want to be around a community of extraordinary people. I want to give you your invitation to come and join us in our community of extraordinary people. I'll see you in September.